prominent guest, Dr. Ahmed Khattab, political analyst. Dr. Ahmed, great pleasure always having you with us. Good morning
My pleasure,
to you.
and good morning to all of you.
Well, the risk now is of a long attritional permit crisis, and that will lead to an endless war, an endless conflict, which is escalating the whole time. And we are just falling into a dilemma. How can we get out of this bottleneck, your point of view?
Yes, the crisis between Iran and the USA lead to more escalation of the war. Today, I think USA make a attack to Iran by airplane in order to destroy some strategic air defense area in Iran. I think the absence of formal diplomatic relations since the aftermath of and then it means Washington and Tehran lack the crisis management mechanism that exists between many rival states. I think no reliable communication channels during military incidents, increasing the risk of miscalculation. And I think also the war between Iran and USA today morning, we have more escalation in the war by USA attack against Iran in order to destroy some strategic area in Iran. Domestic political faction in both countries frequently party compressed as a weakness. Every negotiation started with trust deficit for forcing a party to spend a year building confidence before tracking a substantive issue. I think this is a very bad scenario. After we stop the war between USA and Iran, the war starts again from the last two working days, especially after Iran makes some escalation against Kuwait and destroyed Kuwait airport and destroyed some strategic points in Bahrain also. And this is lead to USA military force to make some strategic defense attack against Iran. Also, Pakistan till now play a diplomatic way in order to stop war, but I think Pakistan alone not able to control Iran because Iran all time tries to make escalation of the war and not accepting U.S. Diplomatic way to stop the war. Especially also the closing or reopening of the Strait of Hormuz is very effective because it affects the trade in not only in Iran but also in all GCC countries. Iran view expanded U.S. military presence as a preparation for correction or regime change. Iran responses by expanding missile drones and proxy capacity. U.S. response with the syndication, deterrence measure and regional partnership. Neither side specifically seeks a direct war. Each believes its actions are defensive while viewing the other action as aggressive. And this is the main problem between Iran and USA. This dynamic creates a self-reinforcing escalation cycle. Whether efforts to increase security actually make both parties feel less secure. Tensions are worsening. I think also for Washington, communications become a preferred middle ground between diplomacy and military intervention. I think lower political costs than war if we stop only war and make a control against all exports of Iran from the Hormuz Strait. Ability to pressure at the pressure in Iran financing by stop export of fuel and oil and gas because it's the main income of Iran from all fuel and gas. I think also we are in need of more pressure from Saudi Arabia as a country and also to United Arab Emirates to ask USA to stop war and accepting the second and third phase of negotiation through Pakistan. So still now, Pakistan President and Pakistan Foreign Minister and Pakistan military force also try to make a control against Iran to stop war in the area, because more
still Pakistan, as you mentioned, Pakistan is still, as you mentioned, playing a pivotal role as a mediator, main mediator, to try to end the war or to try to put an end to such escalation. But what we find, what we always hear from the statements from the U.S. President Donald Trump actually is totally controversial for what's going on the ground, on the civil developments on the ground. Yesterday he said that we are close to reach a deal within 2 or 3 deals, and we are actually negotiating with good people in Iran. He'd been asked from the moderator about the good people in Iran with whom he is negotiating. He said, yeah, not from the regime, but good people. From the other side, there are Iranian officials, and in particular the Foreign Minister Abbas Arakji. He said on X that the country's armed forces, they will leave no attack or threat with no response or with no action. Also, he said concerning the wider conflict in the Middle East, in Lebanon, that the Iranian armed forces has great capacity and Hezbollah has great capacity to defend Lebanon, and they will see. So what to understand out of those such controversial statements most of the time?
Yes, this statement reflects the conflict between Iran and the United States, and has become the most serious direct military confrontation between the two countries. And I think Iran revolution was begun as a broad regional conflict involving Iran and Israel, and U.S. forces have evolved into direct exchange of military strikes, missile attack, naval incidents, cyber operation, and economic pressure also. I think a major escalation occurred after U.S. Apache helicopter was thrown down near the Strait of Hormuz. The United States responded with strikes on Iranian military site, and Iranian retail with missile and drone attack against U.S. position in the Gulf region, including bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. Despite this attack, both sides have continued single interest in diplomacy.
Yep.
I think today the small escalation in the war between Iran and USA will lead to some delay in the peace process through the Pakistan situation. Also, but I hope U.S. will eliminate this action against Iran and go back to the diplomatic way in order to solve and stop the fire. Till now, Iran people and the Iran military force tries to take some problems in the GCC countries like Kuwait and like Emirates.
Yeah.
But I think Iran in a very bad economic situation, and this pressure.
Of course, long time and long years of war and sanctions, they are really under economic pressure. Dr. Ahmed Khattab, political analyst, always many thanks for being with us and for insights and views. Have a nice day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. President Donald Trump says an Iranian nuclear deal is possible within 2 or 3 days,